Die Cutting Essentials magazine is here, and this is issue number 101. Now, with a title called Die Cutting Essentials, you kind of can figure that coming from Practical Publishing, it's going to have something extra in it, and it does. There are cutting dies. There are 4 of them, and these are designed by our friends at Hunky Dory, so we know they're going to be special. Now, this border is 1 7/8 inches wide and 4.5 inches long. It also has a frame. And then there's this narrow one and some fun uses in the magazine. And this is the same length, 4.5 inches. It's about 1 inch wide, and it also has 1 die on the outside decorative edge. So that's fun. But let's get into the magazine and see what the designers have shared with us. And let me show you. So we're going to start out with hints and tips of using these particular dies, so you can see exactly what they're doing. In fact, in this time, they're suggesting to use that smaller one on each side of the border die. So that's an interesting idea. Okay, let's go here, and then we're going to get into some ideas. So here, they're using the same die 3 different times across a card, and doing 3 different colors of it. So a lighter shade of the cardstock, and then backed by a solid darker shade of the same. This is 2 shades of purple, you know, same thing. Okay, and here going into a slimline card, that's interesting. Doing a stand-up card, so that's a good way to do it. And let's see right here. Okay, oh, this is fun to do a gatefold card and to use that die wide there, and then also the narrow one just going toward the center of the card. Very nice. Here it's using the narrow one as a frame around a greeting. So that's also a good idea. So lots of things that you can do with just those 2 cutting dies. Well, actually 4 cutting dies. This is an idea, and let me just look at the other page, and they're calling this ingenious inking, which is a nice alliteration, but what they're talking about is doing some coloring onto the die cut pieces. And if you've watched any of Teresa's webisodes, you know that that's something she does all the time. We like to use the Prism ink pads, especially on the edges of things, but there are some other ideas here, and nice to have that. So let's go. This is called Shapeshift, which I thought was a great title, but they're taking circular cutting dies and cutting them apart. So in this case, they're cutting them in quarters, and a way to place them. Here they're cut in half, and again, another way to use them. And our basic cutting dies are so popular. No, the circle, the oval, square, rectangle, and the arch. So this is giving you some ideas of how to use those, and I do appreciate that. Always nice to have more ways to use the things you already have. Speaking of which, super scraps. Now what they've done is they've taken scraps of solid cardstock, so perhaps not patterned, and cut them and place them at an angle or straight across, and use that for the center of their project. So nice way you can die cut into the, kind of treat it as one piece, or you can put something on top as some of these others are doing. So a good idea, nice to have. Here we have more using the cutting dies that are here. So using them as a stencil, again using them as they are, putting the 2 together, as you can see right here, and more right here. So while this has been put on a bag, this has been put on a box, I just thought it was fun to see it in gold, and again to see the 2 different colors of cardstock. This is again as a stencil, so turning that into a stencil. And here we have more. There we go. This is doing a shaker card, which, we know how to do, but I thought it was really fun that they used a cutting die as the top piece, put acetate behind it, and let that hold those pieces underneath to make the shaker card. I hadn't seen that done before, and I wanted to share it with you. Now here we are back with the border dies. Again, they're using that as a shaker die, and doing some different coloring and inking, so that's fun. This is a card that we're using the smaller one on the edges of it. So that's nice. And here we have more. There's the frame again, and just some nice ways to do it. Again, doing that colored. So many ideas and so many things that you can do with these 4 cutting dies. And it's really nice that you get everything together in one package. And what I love also is that Die Cutting Essentials number 101 is here exclusively at paperwishes.com.